Yo, what's going on, guys? KrispyFlakes here. For today's video, we are going to see what if every 2019 NBA playoff team was in their prime. So before we get going on this video, if you guys can do me a quick favor and please drop a like on this video, man. Try to help me get someone to 1,000 likes. It really helps the channel out so much, and it only takes 1 second to do. So the big reason I really wanted to do this video is just because, some teams like the Houston Rockets, they have like an older superstar in Chris Paul, who's no longer in his prime, but still a really good player. And, you got some cases out there with like Joel Embiid, who's not quite in his prime. So if all these guys were playing their best basketball, which playoff team would actually be the best? So that's kind of how this was constructed. Keep in mind, like non-playoff teams like Chicago Bulls, they just have made-up guys on there. Because I wanted to see, if we simulate an entire season, how would the seeding be different? So basically from top to bottom, we get to see, based off of potential alone and guys from the past, which team would actually be the best. So it's kind of this was constructed, man, based off the future and the past and everything like that, and also just using the potential column in NBA 2K19. So, a few assumptions are made. If you disagree with some of those, let me know in the comment section below, guys. I mean, we all have our different opinions when it comes to how good certain players are going to be. But for the Philadelphia 76ers, you guys have been staring at this for a second now. You got guys out there like Greg Monroe, who is pretty good on the Detroit Pistons. Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons, I still think they are going to be two of the best players, in the very near future of the NBA. Already are. I mean, you can say Joel Embiid is the best center already, right? In some cases. Jared Smith, that's a guy that still has a lot of good potential. Amir Johnson, going back to his Toronto Raptor days. Boban, I mean, he's a sharpshooter now, man. He's an absolute beast, right? Looking at the Milwaukee Bucks, of course, Giannis is a 98 overall. Probably the next new face of the NBA, Chris Middleton, probably playing about as good as he's going to play at this point. Man, he's an all-star or anything like that. That's kind of what I expect out of him. Brook Lopez, who I believe is the all-time leading scorer for the Nets. So, yeah, his rank definitely had to go up for that. Then, of course, Eric Bledsoe had some pretty good seasons. I believe it was the Phoenix Suns he was good for a bit. I think the Clippers is where he started things at, though, for the most part. And then, of course, guys like DJ Wilson that could still be serviceable players in the future. For the Boston Celtics, you're looking at a 95 overall Kyrie Irving. Jason Tatum is a 93 overall. Jaylen Brown is an 80. Al Horford going back to his Atlanta Hawk days when he was an all-star. Robert Williams, I still think he's going to be a fantastic center. I don't know if that would be a starter based off what the league's going into, but I still think he'll be a good player in the future. For the Clippers, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Lou Williams, Neil Gallinari, both these guys are probably playing their best basketball right now, so you wouldn't really see their ratings go up. Yeah, so that's what this team is looking like. For the, what team we got next here, man? We got the Utah Jazz, a 93-94 overall Donovan Mitchell, 90 overall Rudy Gobert. Although I still think Rudy does have a bit more potential to, get his offense even better out there. I really could see him working on that, in the near future. Derrick Favors. Now this is going back, I believe, to when he played for the Nets. He had some pretty good seasons there. And then you also got Kyle Korver, who was an all-star for the Atlanta Hawks for like one season, so that was cool for him and everything like that. Looking at these, not Sacramento Kings. It's so hard. I'm so used to talking about every single team here, but there's only 16 teams in the playoffs. For the Orlando Magic, we have an 88 overall Vucevic, 85 overall Aaron Gordon, 84 Jonathan Isaac. And then, also, I think another thing I should have pointed out at the beginning of this, guys that are not currently part of the playoff run, like a Markelle Fultz or a Blake Griffin or a player like Victor Oladipo, they are not going to be in this video because they're just simply not part of what's going on in the playoffs right now. So, I mean, we want to see how the actual playoff teams would do for the most realism when it comes to this challenge. So just keep that in mind. For the Brooklyn Nets, we have a 91 overall D'Lo, 87 Jarrett Allen, Caris LeVert as 86 overall. This team is definitely going to be a sleeper, man, for winning at least the Eastern Conference. They got a lot of really solid players, just a really good bench on this team here too, man. Denver Nuggets, this is actually where it gets kind of crazy too. You got Jokic, of course, is a 95 overall. He's only going to get better as he gets older. Isaiah Thomas going back to his Boston Celtic days when he averaged 30 points in his season. So I know he's not really been playing all that much, but he's still part of the the team. Like, he's not injured or anything like that. So that's why he's on this video. Jamal Murray, Paul Millsap going back to his, you could probably say Utah Jazz, Atlanta Hawks days. Gary Harris, Malik Beasley, all those guys. Yeah, this is also a very extremely deep team. For the Indiana Pacers, Miles Turner is 86 overall. Tyreek Evans, back from like when he played for like Memphis and the Kings and stuff like that, man. Of course, he's not having as good of a season, but still not doing all too bad out there. Looking at the, I guess next we got the Detroit Pistons. No Blake Griffin, unfortunately. He's going to be out for the season. But we finally get like a decent point guard in Jose Calderon. Somebody that can actually handle the basketball, knock down some consistent shots. So him and Drummond can still do some things out there. But yeah, I'm not expecting this team to get above that 8 seed when it comes to this video. For the Toronto Raptors, a 97 overall Kawhi Leonard. But this is where it gets dangerous because you add in Marc Gasol, who of course was one of the better centers from this previous era of basketball. Yeah, he's not as good now, but he's still a really solid player, man. So his defense, his three-point shooting is going to be nice for this team. Siakam 89 overall, Kyle Lowry 90, Serge Ibaka from the Thunder days. Lynn Sanity, of course, is the 85 overall. He's going to be a beast. This team has a lot of like guards on the team though, so it's going to be interesting to see how that all rolls off on the bench. For the Houston Rockets, you got James Harden with Chris Paul, Clint Capella. You got Eric Gordon. You also got Nene out there, who was really nice for the Denver Nuggets for quite a few years. Another team that's going to be extremely, extremely dangerous in this simulation. San Antonio Spurs, you're looking at LaMarcus Aldridge, who is actually probably playing some of his best basketball right now. DeMar DeRozan going back to when he played for the Raptors. You know, Derrick White looks like he's going to be a very promising point guard in the NBA, the way he's been taking over in these playoffs at times. Looking at the, I guess we got the OKC Thunder next. Another team that, you know, is going to be, because like Paul George, Russell Westbrook, like those guys are already playing some of their best basketball. So not really a big jump from the superstar standpoint, but really you got to hope that, you know, somebody like Terrence Ferguson, a 79 overall, can be the difference maker for this team with an A3-point shot. So really got to hope for that. Looking at the Portland Trailblazers, kind of the same song and dance as the OKC Thunder, where guys like Damian and CJ are playing their best basketball. Not much more room for improvement from anybody else, although you get some help from, you know, Evan Turner when he was good. I know it was like the 76ers, he had some good seasons. I believe also the Boston Celtics, he had like a good year or two on that team, so we'll see how he does for this video. Golden State Warriors, the only good thing about this is that DeMarcus Cousins, of course, is going to be out for the postseason, so this team actually could be somewhat beatable because their, you know, star players are already some of the best of the best, although you do add in an 87 overall Andre Iguodala from when he played for the Nuggets / 76ers. Of course, Andrew Bogut's going to be the defensive center that, of course, is part of the team that was 73-9, so yeah. And then we got the Washington Wizards, of course, are not one of the teams that are going to be part of this. So yes, that's all the prime teams here, guys. What we are going to do next is I'm simply going to simulate this NBA season, check out the stats, check out the seeding, and we're going to see who is the actual best, complete up and down best team in the entire NBA if everybody was in their prime. Okay, so the 76ers do have a record of 6-9-12. You're going to see a lot of really good records because, of course, these teams are also playing against, like, the 50 overall teams that were put into this. One more game against the Bulls, yeah, they beat them 113-95. The fact they got 95 points dropped down, though, by a 40 overall team, whatever it was, is actually pretty asinine. We got Stephen Curry still getting MVP at 30 points, 7 rebounds, 8 assists. Shai Gilgeous as Rookie of the Year. And I'm trying to think how many rookies are actually in the NBA playoffs right now. I can't think of all of them, but so let me know in the comment section below, guys, how many there are. Zach Collins as the 6th man, good numbers for him, good defensive player. Giannis as defensive player, Miles Turner most improved, and Brad Stevens with a record of 73-9 as Coach of the Year. All NBA first team looking like this, so nothing too crazy to see there. All NBA second, with Paul Millsap making that, and Vucevic with a Kawhi, okay. All-NBA third with Chris Paul. That's what I was waiting to see, was if Chris Paul was going to make this. He's 98 overall, man. Also, Aaron Gordon from the Magic making that, so good for him. All defensive teams and the all-rookie teams with some made-up dudes, of course. Yo, we got Cody Jinks and Orlando Navarro playing for the Chicago Bulls. You play for the Orlando Magic. Be a perfect name. So this is what this new seeding is looking like. We do have the Celtics as the 1st seed, Orlando as an 8th seed. Indiana, Milwaukee. I'm kind of surprised to see Milwaukee go all the way down to the 5th seed with all this. Toronto at 3rd, Brooklyn at 6th, and Philly at 2 with the Detroit Pistons moving up to the 7th seed. Then we got Houston, Portland, OKC, Denver, Utah, San Antonio, Golden State, and the Clippers. So yeah, Golden State and Clippers, I believe, if I'm thinking about this correctly, man, no. Yes, this is the only real series that's actually going on, right? I believe this is the only one that actually did match up when all was said and done. Let's go ahead and check out these player stats real quick before we go off and simulate these playoffs. So this is what it's looking like for the 76ers. Just going to do like the top 5 players. Going to scroll through this very quickly here, just so you guys can see how your favorite team did. And of course, you know, if you're not part of this because your team's like the Cavaliers, well, there you go, man. Wade Clayton was your MVP out there at 12 points per game as a raw prospect. Good for him, man. Good for him out there. Clippers looking like that. We got the Hawks, Heat, Hornets, Jazz with 29 points per game from Donovan Mitchell. Very nice. We got the Magic with Vucevic, who needs to start playing better in these actual playoffs, man. Like, he needs to start doing something out there. I'm just saying. D'Lo at 22.7 assists. Because that's the thing, like scoring-wise, you're not going to see like a lot of crazy scoring numbers. Because when there's this many good players on the team, you know, you're going to see a lot of ball movement. But Jokic at 22 points, 17 rebounds, and 9 assists. I have no actual idea how he did not win the MVP award, because those are absolutely insane numbers. We got Jose Calderon with a 13-9 for the Detroit Pistons. Lynn Sanity at 13.7 assists. Is he injured right now? Because I don't actually remember him playing any of the Raptor games so far. Chris Paul, 18 points, 15 assists, and 2 steals for him. We got the Spurs, Suns. Okay, the Thunder with a 30-point, 10 rebound, 5 assist season for Paul George. And Russell Westbrook did not average the triple-double. So, wow, I think I'd see that happening. Trailblazers, and then we got, of course, the Golden State Warriors to round out all this. Cousins should not have... What? How is Cousins? Because guys, Cousins was like left in this on accident, and I put his numbers down to like a 69 overall point guard. Unless he only played one game, that must have been it. He must have only played like. Now I'm very curious here, guys, how this man actually like. No, he was actually getting minutes, bro. Finessing the system, point guard Boogie Cousins, as a 70 overall, just took over the entire NBA. Okay, well, I'm going to make sure he doesn't actually play going into the actual season, man, because he is not supposed to be part of this team. And you playing damn center in any way, shape, or form. All right, so he is no longer part of the rotation. Damn, dude, he was getting it done, though. He was doing some work out there. So, good for Boogie, I suppose. I do feel bad that he's going to be out for, a long time again, but... Yeah, this is what actually matters, though, is the actual playoffs. This is what I was curious about. Not so much the seeding of it, but just kind of like how things played out. So we'll simulate this current round and see who the champions of champions are. So the Pistons are gone first. Of course they are, man, because y'all can't just give me the gratification of at least them winning a single game in the simulation. No, they got to get swept by Philadelphia. All right, we're moving on to the, we got the first rounding out here. So we're looking at Houston, Denver, Golden State, Utah, Philly, Toronto, Boston, and Indiana. Simulate current round. Indiana would have been even better, man, if Victor Oladipo wasn't injured, though, because, Prime Victor was going to be a problem here in the NBA when it's all said and done. Although you could also kind of say that he's kind of in his prime already. We'll see how he returns from injury, though. But, man, we got Toronto and Golden State getting eliminated. I was actually kind of thinking one of those two teams were going to win it. We got Boston, Philly, Houston, and Utah simulate the current round here. And see how it goes. And we have going to the NBA Finals, the Philadelphia 76ers and the Houston Rockets. Let's go ahead and simulate this final one right here, man. And the winner is, it's going to be going to a Game 7, the Philadelphia 76ers. So basically, 2K is saying based off of their starters and their bench, that from up and down from a potential standpoint and guys in the past, that they have the best team. And it's not far off. Like Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid, I really do think that once they hit their actual prime age of 26, 27, and they have that experience under their belt that they're getting right now in the playoffs, that team is going to be freaking hard to stop, assuming they don't make a big change between now and then. But, trust the process is what they say. But anyway, guys, hope you all enjoyed this video. I guess real quick here, if you guys want to see the league leaders for the playoffs, just so you can kind of see which players did the best over there. Maybe we'll see point guard DeMarcus Cousins. Probably not, though, because he actually got kicked off going into the playoffs, which is, realistic for him because he's not in the playoffs in real life. But yeah, man, thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to drop that like, subscribe if you're new to my channel, and peace out, my friends.